This is a video about losing what you type. In particular, I'm doing this on a phone, but it equally applies to using a computer. More so nowadays that everybody, or most people, use the internet, that when you type something, especially on the internet, and sometimes it gets saved, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. Why? Why does this happen? The important thing is to understand why. So, one of the things I've discovered about this is it depends on the type of application you're using, and whether you're using an app or whether you're on the internet or using a browser or whatever. Anyway, let's go through a couple of things, all right? First of all, let's look at Gmail. I'm going to use and there are multiple ways of using Gmail, but I'm using Gmail directly on the internet here on a phone. So if I go into the Gmail website on a phone, which I'm doing from there, and I'm already logged in, so it'll come up and give me that, and I'm going to compose an email. Now I'm just going to make it, I'm not going to type it to anyone, I'm just going to do a test email, and what I'm going to do is type some text, so rather than typing some text, I'll just paste it in from something I've had before. I think I've got it still there, yeah. Right. Okay, so I've got some text there. Right, I'll just get rid of that screen. All right, I've got some text there. So obviously, I'll just move this out of the way. I've got a thing over here called close. I've got a thing over here called send. If I send it, it will send it. I won't lose it. That's okay, not a problem. What happens if I just go down here and just press the back button? All right, so I'll do that. And it comes up and it says, the page, your draft has been modified, abandon changes. And I'll say cancel, I don't want to abandon the changes. But let's do that again. Press again. Boom, I'm out. It didn't come up and say, do you want to abandon changes? All right, it just took me out. Is it still there? Let's go back and have a look. And the answer is probably no. Okay, it's not still there. So I've lost what I was typing. So that's one way of losing what you're typing. And it depends, in this particular case, and if I go back here and compose a new message, it's not there. Perhaps I'll just go back as a matter of interest. All right, and close that and go to there and go down to drafts and see if it's there. Oh, there we are. Test, all right, draft, but it's not all there. It's got the thing called test. I'll edit the draft. Oh, it is there. Okay, so there we are. In the case of that situation, I thought I had lost it, but I hadn't lost it because it was actually in drafts. So that's one of the advantages of using Gmail, is that when you type something, it stores it in a draft and goes along. So you think you've lost it, but you haven't lost it. Okay, let's look at something a little bit different that a lot of people use. Okay, let's look at Facebook. Okay, so I think I've got a thing on here on Facebook. Where am I? Oops. In fact, that's probably there. Sorry. Okay. Gmail. No, I'm not going to. Oh, yeah, I'll look at Facebook. Okay. I'll add a new thing. I'll go into Facebook. Go into my own account on Facebook. All right. Okay, that's me. Okay. All right, so there's something. All right. And in Facebook, it says, what's on your mind? So you want to type something. So I go in there. Okay. I'll type the same thing I had before. All right. Okay, rather than doing that, I'll just go in there. And that's a thing called Gboard, where you can have a clipboard and have multiple things in a clipboard. I've done that in another video. But anyway, I've typed something there. So now that I've typed something in, assuming I've typed it, let's say I've typed a whole lot of stuff, I don't want to come out of it. So once again, I press that button. Okay. It says, oh, you want to discard change, let's do cancel. Okay, it's still there. Press that again. Are you sure you want to discard this post? I'll cancel again. So in that particular case, we know if we come out of it, we've lost it. However, there's more than one way of getting out of a web page. For example, I'm using a web browser, Firefox web browser on it, And up the top here has a number 3, which is the post, and that's the one I'm currently on. Okay, I'll just go to that. It's that one there. It's the Facebook one I'm on. If I click the X on that, let's go on the X, it's gone. I've closed off Facebook in the web browser. Therefore, can I get back to it again? No, let's try to do that. Okay, let's go back to Facebook. Okay, and let's go back to where I was, which is me, Jeff Gregg. Okay, and there's nothing about drafts or anything like that in there. There's previous posts I've done and stuff like that. What's on your mind, I can go in there, type in that. But no, what I originally typed isn't there anymore. So, you have to know how to get into something and how to get out of something. One additional one, which I'll show you, which is my own website. So, I'll go into my own website. Okay, hold on, I'll have to go in there. Go to my own website. There it is there. Okay. Okay. A lock's about to expire. I'll just say, okay, I won't worry about that. That's another thing. All right. I've got something called test. I want to type it in. Okay, so I'll paste it there. Paste some text in there. Okay. Righto. Come out of that. Okay. Come out of that. And it says, do you want to leave this site? Data you've entered may not be saved. And I'll say stay. Okay. Do it again. Still says stay. Do it again. Still says stay. All right. So in that particular case, if I came out of it, I wouldn't lose that change. All right. However, if I do the same thing I did before up the top here, which is to close that tab, right? I'm going to do that. Where is it? Gmail. That's the Gmail, the test one. I close that tab. It's closed. Tab closed. Come up with a thing called undo. Don't know how I could undo that. Well, let's try up here. Oop, it's in bookmarks. I don't know how I got into bookmarks. So go to select recently closed tabs. Okay, test. It's there. We're back. Oh. So, because I recently closed it, I reopen it again. I didn't even know that. All right, I wasn't aware that if you've closed a tab and it's on a web page and it hasn't been saved, you can call it back again. Obviously, the ideal thing is to save. Now, there's one thing that will happen all the time, and I'm about to show this now. I'll go into settings, and I'm going to switch on airplane mode, which means I'm off the internet. I'm completely disconnected from the internet. I'm recording this independent of the internet, so I'll come out of that. So I go back to where I was. I'm going to press save. No internet connection. Check your network connection and try reloading the page a few times. So I'll press reload. Resend data to this site. Resend data. All right. No internet connection. Reload. Cancel. All right. Okay. Okay. I got reload. Cancel. Resend it. I only cancel. It says coming back to there. I'm off the internet. Because I've dropped off the internet, it's not able to save it. But if I just go back, nothing happens. Go back, nothing happens. Go back, nothing happens. I can't go back. All right. Can't reload the page. I can't add a new tab. Can't do anything about that. So if you lose connection to the internet, you also, when you go to save things, it won't work. So what can you do about that? So what you can do about it in that situation is do something different. I'm going to go back onto the internet. By the way, I'll reconnect the internet, switch airplane mode off. Matter of interest, if I switch airplane mode off and then reload, what happens then? Still says no internet connection. Oh, there we are. Okay, it does come back. I wasn't aware of that. All right. So there we are. So I could wait until the internet came back on, but it may be a long time before the internet comes back on. But at least I know I can get back to that. My preferred way of doing things is if I know I've got a lousy internet connection or something like that, I try and save things as often as possible. For example, on my web page, I'll save it. So for example, I'll just come down to the bottom here now. It's got a thing called save. Press save, it saves it, and it's saved it, and it's bounced back to me. If I'm using something like what's it, Facebook, right? Let's go back to Facebook, wherever it is. Facebook's here somewhere. Gmail has been. No, we closed Facebook, didn't we? So we'll go back to Facebook. Right, start Facebook again. Okay, go back to my home page on Facebook. I don't want to show all the other stuff. Okay. Alright, and I'm editing something. Alright. What's on your mind? I'll write something. Okay. Okay. What's on your mind? I will, rather than typing, I'll put that in. This particular time, I'll press post. Stone Fox, we update your thing. Your post is now available. View the post. So I'm going to view the post. So this is a test of my writing. Now, the advantage of doing that, I've written a certain amount of text, one paragraph, and I actually posted it and it came back. That was all right. But what happens if you've got a lot of text and you're adding more and more and more and more? One of the things is in Facebook and most programs on the internet, there's just 3 little buttons over here. So if I press that, loads, it says edit the post. I can now edit that particular post, right, and save it. So, for example, rather than doing it, I'll put it in a couple more times. Right, put it in again, and 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 again. So I've got lots and lots of text now. Right, now I will save it. There we are. It's all there. So in other words, even though you're using the internet and you're using something that's not particularly crash hot as far as I'm concerned, just Facebook, you can still save as you're going along, and then even though it's posted and someone else could possibly read it, you can still go back and edit it. So I can go back there and say edit post, and there we are. It's all there. One other thing as a precautionary measure, whenever you've got a, and I'll cancel that, come out of that. Didn't even ask me if I wanted to save it because I hadn't made any changes possibly, don't know why. One other thing is if you're doing something and you're writing a lot of text and you've got a fluky internet connection, I always make sure, in addition to going to be able to save it, before I save it on the web page, whatever it may be, I copy the whole lot and just put in the copy buffer, or to make doubly sure, I'll copy it and paste it and save it directly to my own device, in this particular case, my phone. So for example, if I touch that there now, good old Facebook's not going to let me copy that. So I'll go into the edit the post, do it in there, right, select all, right, select copy, right. Now it's in the copy buffer. So it means if I were going to save this and we lost the internet connection or the phone was to crash, if the phone crashed I still wouldn't go. If something was to go wrong with the internet, I've still got it in the paste buffer. However, what's called the clipboard. However, I could lose the phone completely. The phone could lose battery or something like that. As an extra precautionary measure, what you can also do is save it somewhere directly on your device. Now, if you've got some sort of a program, a notepad program or word processing program or something like that, you could do it that way, right? What I use is I just save it with the file manager that I use. For example, I go here and I go to CX File Explorer, which I use quite a bit. Go to somewhere I want to do this, right? I'll put it on my local, on my SD card. I've got a particular temporary area there, which I call that. Right. I can do a new file, right, called temp. I usually have a file called temp, and I put .txt at the end of it. Okay. If I go into that now, and then do a long press there, that thing that I copied before, comes up. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's all that text. If I press that little thing there, it saved it. So now, even if the phone was switched off, that temp.txt is there, and I can go back, if you know how to, where I'm working on this and add some more, edit this post, add some more text to it, and then save it. Right. So if this was to save now, which if I was to disconnect from the internet, it wouldn't save, and it came with an error message, I can still go back to that thing that's on my phone. It's all a matter of understanding what is stored, how it's stored, and when it's stored. It can be confusing. Perhaps what I should do is run a whole other training session on how things are stored and how phones and computers all work. But anyway, this is a bit of an idea why you may have been losing what you type and what you can do about it. Hopefully it's been some example. Just to summarise again, if you're using the internet and you type something up and you completely go out of it without saving it, you'll lose it. If you're using the internet and you save it, hopefully it's saved on the internet. If you're using the internet and you lose your internet connection, quite often you can lose stuff. However, as I discovered myself there, which is new to me, you could have a situation where when you get back onto the internet, you can recover it, depending if you can get back onto the internet. All right. Okay, and also as the last thing, as I said, before, it doesn't help to copy things as you're going along. So if you're typing something and it's reasonably large, copy it, and then and then if you really want to be sure, copy it and paste it into something else, like some sort of document that's saved directly on your device, not on the internet. That way, if something does go wrong, you're not going to lose everything. However, having said all this and giving these recommendations, my experience is I know all these things. I've done it for years. I've lost lots of stuff. Every time I type something, I get involved in typing it, and I type on and on and on and on. Something goes wrong, and boom, I lose it. I've lost great hunks of text, and I can't get it back again. I have to retype it all, and inevitably, you never remember what you typed. Okay, got any questions about this? Email me. Bye.